appears that Caitlin Clark fans have listened. Last night, I received the ratings for the first round of games for the chase for the Golden Toilet. As expected, darkness is coming. The spotlight is rapidly fading.
It's impossible to ignore the seismic shift that has recently transpired within the WNBA. The league currently finds itself embroiled in an unprecedented state of widespread public disarray, fueled by the palpable outrage and subsequent boycotts from a significant portion of its supporters. This uproar was ignited following the elimination of Caitlin Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, from the playoffs, an event that for many signaled the premature end of a uniquely captivating season.
2 years ago, their home attendance was 1,800 fans. Their average this year, home attendance, is 17,000. That's almost 10 times. And, of course, the big difference is Caitlin Clark.
Let's be unequivocally clear. For the vast majority of sports enthusiasts, the WNBA remained a niche interest, largely off the mainstream radar, until the transformative arrival of Caitlin Clark. She wasn't just another rookie, she was a phenomenon, a catalyst that single-handedly drew millions of new eyes to a league that had long struggled for widespread recognition and consistent viewership.
A lot of the Indiana Fever fans or Caitlin Clark fans that you speak of are no longer going to watch the WNBA now that the Indiana Fever are out.
Now, with the league's undeniable star no longer on the court for the remainder of the season, there's a prevailing sense that the WNBA is destined to tragically revert to its pre-Caitlin Clark era, a period characterized by sparse attendance, limited media coverage, and an overall struggle for cultural relevance. The fear is that the meteoric rise in interest will dissipate just as quickly as it appeared, leaving the league once again relegated to the periphery of the American sporting landscape.
And then the moment the ratings tank, they're going to come back and say, see, we were right all along. It's all the racists that follow Caitlin Clark that were watching the product, and now they're gone, and we're back with our diehards. And that's the ratings that you're seeing, actual W fans, not WNBA, actual W fans.
Let me get it right.
That's going to be the argument
The W.
now.
Fans had already reached a boiling point, seething with anger over the relentless negativity and physical aggression Caitlin Clark endured from her opponents. This animosity wasn't confined to the competitive boundaries of the court. It extended off it, with some rivals unfairly casting aspersions on her burgeoning fan base, labeling them as hateful or opportunistic. The cumulative effect of this palpable mistreatment, combined with her team's playoff exit, has driven many of these newly converted followers back to their previous state of indifference towards the WNBA. After all, despite facing a constant barrage of criticism and physical challenges, she almost single-handedly propelled the league into an unprecedented spotlight. For that, she deserves immense credit.
Caitlin Clark came in and made such an impact on how many people started to care about the WNBA. This was the highest viewed season in the history of the league. In 28 years, the numbers were stellar.
The ramifications of this departure are profound and immediate. Caitlin Clark's dedicated fan base, and by Caitlin Clark's fans, one could realistically argue we're referring to almost the entirety of the WNBA's newly expanded audience, may very well decide to collectively disengage from the league altogether for the rest of this season. Should anyone still harbor the naive illusion that her absence will not inflict a devastating blow to viewership figures, they must urgently shed their blissful ignorance and confront the stark reality of the situation. The data will speak volumes, and it will not be flattering.
Caitlin Clark drew a whole new fan base into it, and now the question is, because she has been eliminated, she and the Indiana Fever are eliminated after losing 2 games to the Connecticut Sun. What is the rest of the season going to look like, ratings-wise, for the WNBA? Are people still going to care? That is the question on everybody's mind, because when you look at the numbers with Caitlin Clark there.
Consider this honestly. How many among us genuinely developed an interest in the WNBA, tuning in regularly only when Caitlin Clark burst onto the scene with her electrifying play and magnetic personality? For many, the answer is undoubtedly almost all. Her presence was the sole reason to watch.
Now we're seeing comments of people saying, well, it's been real, WNBA, I'm going to go back to watching football now. Like, I'll be back when Caitlin plays again, or I'll be back when the Indiana Fever play because now I'm an Indiana Fever.
Across social media platforms and in countless conversations, Caitlin Clark's fans are articulating a unified sentiment. Without her unique brand of basketball, the WNBA simply lacks its recent captivating allure. It no longer feels like the must-watch entertainment it became with her at the helm.
Caitlin Clark has literally carried the sport on her back all summer long. She talks that yang. That's what resonates with Caitlin Clark. It isn't her being white. It isn't her being straight. Her game resonates with people in basketball and across the country because she's got that edge. She plays with a flair. I heard her drop 3 F-bombs in one game sitting right there courtside. Her teammates had to hold her back. She's yelling at the coach. That's what Magic, Bird, Isaiah, Jordan, you name it, that's what they do. Clark resonates, but that clicking sound you hear is televisions being turned off. Ain't nobody watching this stuff now. Ain't nobody turning the set on and saying, I gotta watch who?
Her impact was evident the moment she stepped onto the court, signaling an impending onslaught of record-breaking performances. Have you truly absorbed the sheer, almost ridiculous volume of records she shattered during this singular rookie season? It wasn't just 1 or 2, it was a sustained assault on the record books, leaving a trail of broken milestones in her wake.
Sick. Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game. She won Rookie of the Month 4 times. Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times. She set a single-season record for assists. Period. Single-season rookie record for assists. That makes sense. Single-season rookie record for 3-pointers. Single game record for assists, 19. Franchise record for most double-doubles, 3-pointers. Career 10 or more assists in a game. How about that? Franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 3-pointers. She did it in 34 games. Most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game, for which she received the most fan votes ever. 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season regardless of years in the league.
Already, the WNBA is bracing for a dramatic and concerning decline in viewership. The projected figures, once they materialize, will undoubtedly paint a grim picture, affirming what her fans already know. The numbers do not lie. Clark's individual achievements were so monumental that one almost had to fast forward through highlight reels just to catalog every single record she claimed.
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever had over 1.8 million viewers, and the rest of the games had around 400,000 viewers. If you added them up together, they still wouldn't add up to 1.84.
If that isn't the very definition of an extraordinary, once-in-a-generation talent, then what possibly is? To put her impact into stark perspective, more people tuned in to watch the Indiana Fever playoff game featuring Caitlin Clark than watched the subsequent 3 playoff games combined. Traditionally, Sunday afternoons in America are reserved for the sacred ritual of watching NFL football. Yet, Caitlin Clark possessed such undeniable star power that even with a full slate of NFL games commanding attention, fans couldn't resist the gravitational pull of her WNBA playoff game, which soared to an unprecedented
Sunday afternoon, competing directly with the fourth quarter of the early slate of games in the NFL. Caitlin Clark drew 1.8 million viewers on ABC. It was the most watched playoff game since Game 2 of the 2000 WNBA Finals, and it was the most watched game in the WNBA playoffs on an NFL Sunday.
One might reasonably assume that everyone within the WNBA community, from players to executives to commentators, would be absolutely ecstatic that the league achieved such monumental, record-breaking viewership, even when directly competing against the formidable juggernaut of the NFL. However, instead of offering credit where it was overwhelmingly due, one of Caitlin Clark's most vocal critics, Cheryl Swoops, who has consistently expressed a lack of impressment by the Fever's rising star, made it disturbingly clear that she wasn't even pleased that millions chose to watch the WNBA over the NFL. When directly questioned about her thoughts on the WNBA playoffs attracting more viewers than the NFL, she delivered a truly bewildering statement on her podcast, Queens of the Court.
So I was not excited about the playoffs starting. First of all, it is a football Sunday. And I don't care how much we've grown and people are tuning in and they're watching in the eyes. You're going up against NFL on a Sunday. A Sunday.
Frankly, Cheryl, the undeniable truth is that viewers consciously opted to watch Caitlin Clark play on a Sunday afternoon, despite the compelling presence of NFL games. Your dismissive stance, therefore, serves to demean not only the WNBA and the exceptional talent of Caitlin Clark, but also, crucially, the millions of new fans she single-handedly attracted to the league. Let's take a moment to underscore just how profoundly Caitlin Clark transcended the ordinary narrative of simply showing up to play.
It is not just a delusional fan base who is just delusional, but they're not really tuning in. No, these people are coming in waves to watch one player who has sold out every single arena that she has played in this season.
Prior to Caitlin Clark's arrival, bringing with her an avalanche of new fans and unprecedented media attention, WNBA players were often subjected to the indignity and logistical nightmares of taking crowded commercial flights, a stark contrast to the private charters enjoyed by their male counterparts. However, with her rapid ascent and the subsequent influx of revenue and visibility, everything began to change for the better, even for her colleagues.
Right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,035 at home, 15,000 on the road. Attendance for the entire league up nearly 50% this year, according to data from across the timeline. And Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of, like I said, of 17,035. Merchandise sales are up 450%. I'm gonna repeat that. Merchandise sales are up 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics.
All of these positive transformations, from heightened viewership to improved travel conditions, are direct consequences of what has been widely dubbed the Caitlin Clark effect. And yet, in spite of generating all this undeniable benefit for the entire league, she was forced to navigate a treacherous landscape of animosity, envy, and thinly veiled resentment from some other players. Their sentiment, often expressed implicitly or explicitly, seemed to be, "We've been grinding in this league for years, so why is Caitlin receiving all this disproportionate attention?"
WNBA announced they plan to commit $50 million over the next 2 seasons so players can fly on chartered planes. The league faced backlash on social media when Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark and the team was seen walking through a Dallas airport headed to a commercial flight. I need any females out there who are fans of the WNBA, who are fans of WNBA players, who are critical of Caitlin Clark in any way to stand down, chill out. You need to hug that girl when you see her. You need to embrace her. You need to compete like hell to go up against her, take her down on the basketball court. That's fine, which I believe the Diana Taurasi's and the Asia Wilsons and others of the world will gladly do. But in her very first press conference, she brought up the fact that they had to fly commercial, and the next damn day, $50 million was committed to the players. Who you think has something to do with that? She could have been selfish. She was
Her game, however, speaks for itself in ways that transcend mere audience numbers and celebrity. The Indiana Fever, prior to Caitlin Clark, languished as one of the WNBA's perpetually struggling teams. Her arrival, with her unparalleled court vision, long-range shooting, and leadership, single-handedly transformed them into a legitimate playoff contender, injecting hope and excitement into a franchise that desperately needed it.
If you are making the argument that ladies who helped build the NBA deserved far more shine that they were getting, you have every right to feel that way. What you have to respect, however, is that the paying customer, the audience, didn't feel that way. They did not give a damn about the WNBA. And they really were not feeling the WNBA to the degree that they're feeling the WNBA now, obviously because of Caitlin Clark, who's selling out games and got the Indiana Fever selling out games more than they sell out Pacer games.
She didn't merely dazzle the millions in the audience. She also captivated seasoned commentators and even legendary basketball players, many of whom became her staunchest and most vocal supporters, recognizing a generational talent when they saw one. Charles Barkley famously articulated his admiration and defense of Caitlin Clark, echoing the sentiments of many who saw her unique value.
The Indiana Fever. Remember, Caitlin Clark was drafted first, which means last year they were the worst team in the WNBA. It did not matter because this season they were the most watched team in the league. An average of viewership, 1.1 million viewers each game in the regular season. Other games, listen to this, paled in comparison, drawing just about 394,000 viewers on average.
Consequently, there is now a profound and deeply unsettling uncertainty clouding the WNBA's immediate future, without Caitlin Clark's unparalleled star power. A significant portion of the public is beginning to question with genuine concern whether the league, as it currently stands, is a fundamentally failed product, one that demonstrably cannot sustain itself or capture significant market interest without her singular magnetic presence.
Could watch Caitlin Clark every single night play basketball. I'm that fascinated with her mind, her toughness, obviously her shooting ability. I think she might have cracked my top 5 all time, and that's men or women.
All time.
Yes. I'm going MJ's in that category. Steph Curry is in that category. If Caitlin Clark goes in there, man, Larry Bird will be the other guy. That's my 5.
Charles Barkley said this regarding Caitlin Clark.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all that private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
I'm saying they should have done everything they can to keep Clark playing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Asia Wilson and whoever these other angry women are, maybe, just maybe, they're going to take off and run with it. Maybe it's better with Clark not being in the playoffs so we can watch others.
The harsh truth is that, for many, the majority of viewers simply no longer possess the intrinsic motivation to watch the other players. Without her, the game for a considerable segment of the audience no longer feels like legitimate, top-tier basketball entertainment. Caitlin Clark injected an exhilarating, fast-paced dynamism and an electrifying precision in her three-point shooting that made women's basketball genuinely thrilling and appointment viewing. Her absence leaves a void that no other player at this moment appears capable of filling. And without her captivating presence on the court, the season, for me and for an untold number of other dedicated viewers, has already, regrettably, come to a premature and anticlimactic end.